Have you ever found yourself drifting on the soft, blurring edges of wakefulness, where the solid world outside begins to soften and a new inner landscape starts to bloom? It's a gentle, almost imperceptible transformation, isn't it? This unfolding of the mind as it prepares for its nightly voyage into the deep, quiet seas of sleep. Even before we fully give ourselves over to slumber's embrace, there's a curious, continuous activity that begins within the intricate pathways of our brains, a silent rearranging of sensations, a subtle reweaving of thoughts that hints at a profound, yet often overlooked, magic residing within us. We slip from the sharp but defined contours of our busy day into a landscape where the familiar rules of waking reality become wonderfully pliable, like soft clay beneath a potter's gentle, shaping hands. Consider for a moment the common, wondrous miracle of a dream. You might find yourself walking through a familiar, beloved place, perhaps the quiet, sun-dappled garden from your cherished childhood home. Yet in this dream garden, the sky above is painted in hues you've never quite seen before, a swirling canvas of deep violet and shimmering emerald, impossibly vibrant and serene. A distant melody, impossibly clear and resonant, might weave its way through the air, carrying with it a scent of something long forgotten, something both comforting and entirely new. The ancient trees, with their sprawling branches, might whisper secrets in a language only your inner self can understand, their leaves rustling with an ancient, knowing wisdom. A friendly creature, perhaps a fox with eyes like polished obsidian, might approach you, offering a quiet, gentle gaze that communicates more than words ever could. In this moment, there's no surprise, no alarm, just a gentle, accepting embrace of this beautiful, impossible reality. The warmth of the dream sun on your skin, the cool brush of the dream grass against your bare feet, the quiet joy bubbling within your chest, all of it feels exquisitely real, as vivid and tactile as any waking experience. And yet, it is a construct, a magnificent, ephemeral edifice, built not from stone or steel, but from the very fabric of your own mind, without a single tangible brick or beam. It arises spontaneously from the boundless depths of your own consciousness, a private universe spun from the delicate threads of fragmented memories, unspoken desires, subtle fears, and the untamed, boundless imagination that resides within each of us. The dream garden, with its improbable sky and whispering trees, is as real as it needs to be for the duration of its gentle existence. It holds you, cradles your perception, and for those precious moments, it is your reality. This exquisite capacity for creation, this spontaneous generation of entire worlds within the quiet chambers of our own skulls, is a fundamental, awe-inspiring aspect of what it means to perceive, to exist, to simply be. It suggests a profound fluidity to reality, a whisper that what we perceive as solid and unwavering might, in truth, be far more adaptable, far more ethereal than we commonly allow ourselves to imagine. Think of the way a young child plays, utterly immersed in their imaginative world. A simple stick becomes a mighty, gleaming sword imbued with heroic power. A draped blanket transforms into a fortified, impenetrable castle, standing against imaginary foes. A cherished stuffed animal becomes a loyal, courageous companion on grand adventures. For that child, in that moment, the stick is a sword, the blanket is a castle. Their unshakable belief, their complete engagement, lends a palpable, tangible reality to these ordinary objects, bending the everyday into something extraordinary. The line between what is real and what is imagined blurs, not out of confusion, but out of a pure, unadulterated embrace of possibility. This playful absorption is not so far removed from the dream state. Is it both are gentle invitations to a different kind of reality? One where the boundaries are drawn not by rigid external laws, but by the soft, persuasive hand of our own inner world. A world constantly creating, constantly experiencing, constantly reweaving. As we drift further into the quiet currents of impending sleep, we often encounter these liminal spaces, these gentle thresholds between conscious and unconscious. Perhaps you've experienced the peculiar sensation of falling, a harmless, buoyant tumble into an unknown depth, only to be caught by a sudden, sympathetic jolt, a gentle contraction of muscles as your body softly reminds you of its comforting tether to the physical world. Or perhaps you've seen fleeting faces in the shadows, not frightening specters, but impressionistic, ephemeral forms that hint at stories untold, dissolving as quickly as they appear as the light shifts. These are the mind's playful brushstrokes, painting transient images on the canvas of semi-consciousness, preparing us for the deeper immersion into the boundless dreamscape. They are soft echoes of the creative power that will soon weave entire, intricate narratives for us, complete with their own logic and emotion. And what about the curious phenomenon of déjà vu? That curious, fleeting sensation that you have lived this very moment before, that this quiet conversation, this specific street corner, this particular pattern of light and shadow is a precise echo from some forgotten past. It's a ripple in the fabric of your perception, a momentary, gentle glitch in the seamless flow of reality that makes you wonder if what you are experiencing is not entirely new, but a rerun, a memory, or even a subtle premonition. It's a gentle nudge, a soft tap on the shoulder, inviting you to question the absolute linearity of time and experience, suggesting a quiet resonance within your own consciousness that stretches beyond the immediate moment. While scientists offer various explanations for déjà vu, from fleeting memory glitches to temporary neurological misfires, from a philosophical or poetic perspective, it serves as a beautiful reminder of the intricate and often mysterious ways our minds process and present reality to us. It's a whispered suggestion that perhaps, just perhaps, our experience of reality is not always a perfectly pristine, one-to-one mapping of an external, objective world, but something more fluid and creatively constructed. The quiet, persistent work of memory also profoundly shapes our perceived reality. When you recall a past event, you're not simply replaying a perfect, unalterable recording. You are, in essence, actively reconstructing it. Each time you remember, you are subtly reshaping the memory, adding new details, omitting others, coloring it with your current emotions and understanding. The memory of a childhood picnic might brighten with the warmth of nostalgia, the sunshine seeming more brilliant, the laughter more resonant, even if the day itself was, in objective truth, overcast. This isn't a flaw in our memory system, it's a beautiful testament to its dynamic, creative nature. Our personal histories are not static archives, but living, breathing narratives, constantly being rewritten and re-envisioned by the gentle hand of our own consciousness. This reconstructive process, this constant crafting of our personal past, subtly mirrors the way our minds create the entire world we inhabit. A soft reminder that perception is an active, not passive endeavor, a continuous act of gentle creation. Think too of the profound impact of our internal states on our external experience. When you are filled with joy, the world seems to sparkle with a brighter, more luminous light. Colors appear more vibrant, and even the everyday sounds of life seem to harmonize into a gentle melody. A simple bird's song becomes a tune of pure delight. A gentle breeze feels like a tender, comforting caress on your skin. Conversely, when sorrow weighs upon you, the world can feel muted, gray, its edges softened by a veil of introspection. The very same bird's song might barely register, or perhaps even sound melancholic, echoing your inner state, its notes resonating with your internal landscape. This isn't just about subjective interpretation, it speaks to the intimate, inextricable link between our inner landscape and the reality we perceive. Our emotions, our moods, our very consciousness are not merely passive observers of reality, they are active participants in its subtle construction, shaping its texture, its tone, its very essence. It's as if our inner world is casting a gentle, translucent filter over the external one, subtly altering its appearance, coloring its every detail with the hues of our soul. Even the most mundane acts of perception hold a quiet wonder. The simple act of seeing a tree, your eyes take in light, yes, but your brain then stitches together countless complex signals, interpreting shapes, recognizing patterns, recalling memories of other trees you've seen, and overlaying it with the rich, accumulated concept of tree that you have built over a lifetime of experience. You don't just see raw light and shadow, you see a living, breathing entity with bark, leaves, branches, a history, a purpose, a profound connection to the earth and sky. This intricate process, so seamless and automatic, is in itself a remarkable act of creation, a constant, effortless projection of meaning onto the raw data of the senses. It's like a quiet, continuous dreaming happening all the time, even when we are wide awake, constantly building the world around us. Our perception is not a passive window onto a fixed reality, but a beautifully woven tapestry, intricate and vibrant, crafted by the skillful, gentle hands of our own minds. And as we settle deeper into this quiet contemplation, consider the beautiful phenomenon of a shared narrative. When a skilled storyteller weaves a tale, painting vivid images with carefully chosen words, the listeners, each in their own quiet space, begin to construct that world within their minds. Though the words are the same for everyone, each individual's internal landscape of the story will be unique, colored by their own experiences, their own imagination, their own inner world. The hero's noble face, the villain's shadowy lair, the sprawling ancient forest, all are conjured into being, not by external means, but by the gentle and persuasive power of the narrative, taking deep root in the fertile ground of individual consciousness. For the duration of the story, that shared yet individually experienced, reality becomes potent and compelling. This gentle act of collective creation, this weaving of a common thread through distinct minds, subtly mirrors the grander, more cosmic dance of reality itself, hinting at a shared yet individually interpreted existence, a symphony of separate souls playing together. Perhaps this familiar, everyday magic of our own minds, this gentle yet profound ability to dream, to imagine, to perceive, offers us a quiet prelude to a grander idea. What if the very essence of our mind, our memories, our feelings, our unique sense of self, is fundamentally a form of information? And if it is information, pure and simple, then could it, theoretically, be extracted, translated, and perhaps one day gently placed into a new, non-biological form? This isn't about cold machinery or jarring transfers, but about the profound dance of information, its fluidity and its capacity for transformation. It's a thought as soft as a feather, as light as a whisper on the night air, inviting us to release the rigid grip of conventional thinking and float into a boundless space of gentle possibility. This isn't about denying the undeniable existence of the surface you're resting upon, or the quiet hum of the night around you. It's about contemplating the very nature of that existence, the underlying weave of its reality. Just as the dream garden is profoundly real within the context of your dream, so too is our waking world undeniably present and substantial within the context of our collective perception. But the question whispers what lies beyond that context. What is the deeper fabric from which these realities are woven? This endless tapestry formed, and how much of it is truly just patterns of information? It's a question that doesn't demand a definitive answer, but rather invites a gentle, open-hearted curiosity, a willingness to gaze upon the familiar with fresh, softened eyes, allowing wonder to bloom effortlessly within you. As your eyelids grow heavier and your thoughts begin to slow, allow yourself to drift with this gentle current of inquiry. The boundaries between waking and dreaming, between inner and outer, become beautifully indistinct here, in this peaceful space. Your mind, a universe in itself, is already capable of constructing intricate realities with effortless grace, simply by arranging information, and perhaps, just perhaps, the very essence of your being, your unique collection of memories and experiences, is itself a masterpiece of information, capable of transcending its current form. Let this profound thought be a lullaby, a soft, comforting presence that accompanies you as you ease into the deeper layers of sleep. There's no need for answers now, only the gentle hum of curiosity, the soft, rhythmic breath of contemplation, a soothing companion for your journey inward. Let your consciousness expand and contract with the quiet rhythm of your breath, like a gentle wave on a calm, moonlit sea. Each inhale, a quiet gathering of peaceful thoughts. Each exhale, a soft release, letting them drift away like dandelion seeds on a gentle evening breeze. The images, the ideas, the sensations are all part of this unfolding journey towards ultimate rest. Embrace them, allow them to pass, knowing that they are all transient, all part of the beautiful, fluid dance of your inner world, a world capable of infinite creation, simply by arranging information. The concept of your mind's essence, once a rigid, unyielding structure, now feels pliable and accommodating, like a warm, comforting blanket wrapping gently around you. It's an inviting thought, isn't it? That the very fabric of your being might be as malleable and responsive as our deepest, most cherished dreams? A profound collection of whispers. And with that gentle thought, let the familiar surroundings begin to softly fade, their outlines softening, their colors blending into the soothing darkness. The sounds of the world outside become distant echoes, like faraway, gentle chimes carried on the softest wind. You are safe, you are warm, and you are being cradled by the quiet, creative power of your own mind, a power that has always known how to lead you gently into the deepest, most restorative sleep. The whispers of everyday dreams, and the thought of your mind as pure, beautiful information, have prepared the way, softening the path, blurring the edges, and inviting you to step into the boundless, beautiful tapestry of your own quiet night. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, just the gentle descent into the soft, comforting silence. A peaceful surrender to the deep inner quiet where all information finds its gentle rest. As the soft echoes of our personal dreams begin to gently recede, and the subtle contours of the waking world gradually reassert themselves, we are invited to consider another profound landscape, the intricate, silent universe that resides within our very skulls, our brain. We often perceive our brain as a powerful engine, tirelessly working to solve problems, create ideas, and guide our actions. Yet, much like a tranquil village shrouded in a soft, ethereal haze at dawn, a great deal of its activity remains hidden from our conscious awareness. A beautiful, continuous hum beneath the surface, a constant dance of unseen information. Imagine, if you will, looking down upon this neural village from a quiet, serene distance, where the air is still and the light is diffused. You perceive countless tiny, flickering points of light, each representing a neuron, a fundamental building block of thought and sensation. These neurons are not isolated islands. They are intricately interconnected, forming vast, sprawling networks, like countless delicate paths winding through a peaceful, slumbering landscape. Messages, like tiny, glowing fireflies, silently flit from one neuron to another, traveling along these pathways at astonishing speeds. This constant, gentle communication, this ceaseless dance of electrical and chemical signals, constitutes the very essence of neural information, the data that gives rise to everything we experience, the warmth of a cherished memory, the cool logic of a complex calculation, the vibrant colors of the world around us, the gentle rhythm of our own breath. Yet, as you observe this shimmering, interconnected village, you notice something profoundly intriguing. Even when no specific task is being performed, when there's no immediate problem to solve, no urgent decision to make, No new information to actively process the lights within the village do not dim entirely. On the contrary, a significant portion of these tiny lights continues to flicker with a quiet, persistent energy. Entire districts of the village, vast networks of neurons, remain softly illuminated, engaged in a continuous internal dialogue, a silent processing of information. Even when your conscious mind feels utterly at rest, perhaps simply gazing out of a window or drifting into a quiet daydream, this continuous, pervasive activity highlights the brain's fundamental nature as a processing system for information. Every sensation we encounter, every thought we generate, every memory we form, is fundamentally a pattern of neural information. A scent of blooming jasmine is not just a chemical compound reaching your nose. It is translated into a specific pattern of electrical signals that your brain interprets as jasmine. The feeling of soft velvet against your skin is a unique arrangement of neural firing that translates into tactile sensation. Your very understanding of these words you are hearing now is a complex dance of information being received, decoded, and given meaning within your neural networks. Think of it like a master weaver working with countless threads of different colors and textures. Each thread, on its own, is simple, but when woven together in intricate patterns, they create a magnificent, detailed tapestry. Our brain is this weaver, taking countless threads of raw sensory data and internal signals and weaving them into the rich, seamless tapestry of our conscious experience. The threads are the individual bits of neural information, constantly being processed, transformed, and integrated. However, despite our growing understanding, we are still at the very earliest stages of truly reading this neural language. We can observe the flickering lights, detect the subtle electrical currents, and even map the general pathways of communication. But the nuanced meaning, the precise code by which a specific memory is stored, or a complex emotion is generated, remains largely shrouded in a gentle haze. It's like observing a foreign city from a distance. You can see the lights, hear the faint hum of activity, and perhaps even recognize some of the larger structures. But the individual conversations, the intricate social dances, and the detailed narratives of its inhabitants remain a profound mystery. This isn't a limitation to be frustrated by, but rather a beautiful invitation to wonder. The brain's vast capacity to encode, process, and store information in ways we are only beginning to comprehend is a testament to its profound elegance. The sheer volume of information handled by the brain is staggering. It processes sensory input at every moment, constantly updates its internal models of the world, manages countless bodily functions, and orchestrates our complex thoughts and actions. All of this is fundamentally an information processing feat of unparalleled sophistication. Consider the gentle act of recognizing a familiar face. This seemingly effortless process involves your brain instantly comparing countless bits of visual information, shape of eyes, curve of mouth, texture of skin with a vast database of stored memories, identifying patterns, and confirming recognition all in a fraction of a second. This is a monumental task of information retrieval and pattern matching, happening so smoothly that we rarely give it a second thought. It's like a quiet, tireless librarian who can instantly locate a single cherished book within an impossibly vast library, simply by recognizing the faintest pattern on its spine. The beauty and complexity of neural information lie not just in its individual units, but in the dynamic relationships between them. A single neuron firing might not mean much, but a specific pattern of millions of neurons firing in a precise sequence with varying intensities can encode a memory of a childhood summer day or the sensation of a gentle breeze on your cheek. This intricate choreography of information, constantly flowing and transforming, gives rise to the rich tapestry of our inner world. This profound mystery, this gentle haze surrounding the precise language of neural information, is precisely what makes the concept of uploading minds so compelling, yet so challenging. If our minds are fundamentally information, then theoretically, they could be copied. But how do we truly capture the essence of that information? The subtle nuances, the dynamic relationships, the very software that allows our consciousness to emerge from the hardware of neurons. It's like trying to capture the feeling of a song by only recording the individual notes, without understanding the melody, rhythm, or harmony. This is not a concept to be rushed or to induce anxiety. On the contrary, it is a source of profound comfort and wonder. It suggests that the very essence of our being, our thoughts, our memories, our feelings are forms of information, capable of transformation and perhaps one day of being expressed in new, unforeseen ways. This quiet understanding allows us to approach the future and our own inner workings with a gentle, open curiosity. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of this neural village, with its gentle, persistent haze of information, settle within your mind. There is no need to understand every intricate pathway or every subtle flicker of light. Simply embrace the profound mystery and the quiet reassurance that even when you are completely at rest, your brain is a marvel of continuous, gentle information processing, silently working to support your very existence. Let your breath be soft and even, a gentle rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wonder of your own internal world's intricate information. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool dawn air. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of neural information. All is calm, all is clear, as the quiet haze from your neural village guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we gently drift deeper into the serene landscape of the mind, softly moving through the subtle haze of neural information, we now approach a fascinating and deeply comforting truth about how our memories are held. Imagine, for a quiet moment, your mind not as a single centralized library where all your cherished stories are bound in one vast volume, but rather as a vast, ancient territory filled with countless smaller villages. In each of these villages, tiny, delicate fragments of memory are carefully kept, like pieces of a grand, overarching map, distributed across the sprawling landscape of your brain. This isn't a chaotic jumble, but a deliberate, elegant design, where the whole emerges from the beautiful interplay of its scattered parts. We often imagine that a specific memory, the scent of rain on warm earth, the sound of a loved one's gentle laughter, the feeling of sunlight on your skin is stored in one precise location, like a single photograph tucked neatly into an album. However, the gentle gaze of neuroscience reveals a far more intricate and resilient truth. Your memories are not confined to single spots. Instead, they are distributed across vast networks of neurons, woven into the very fabric of your brain's architecture. When you recall a memory, it's not like pulling a single book from a shelf. It's like a soft, harmonious symphony playing out across countless instruments, each contributing its own delicate note to the complete melody. Consider the act of remembering a beloved childhood home. You might recall the color of the front door, the gentle slope of the roof, the sound of footsteps on the porch, the scent of fresh-baked bread from the kitchen. Each of these sensory details, each emotional nuance, might be stored in different, interconnected regions of your brain. When you access the memory of your home, your brain gently activates all these distributed fragments, stitching them together to create a seamless, vivid mental picture. This elegant process, happening in the silent background of your awareness, underscores the distributed nature of neural information. It's like finding all the pieces of a cherished ancient map, scattered in different, distant villages, and then gently assembling them to reveal the complete, familiar territory. This distributed storage of memory is a testament to the brain's remarkable resilience. If memories were stored in single, vulnerable locations, a small injury or gentle disruption could erase entire chapters of your life. But because they are spread across vast, redundant networks, the brain can often recover or reconstruct memories even if some connections are subtly altered. It's like a vast, interconnected forest. Even if a few leaves fall from one tree, the entire forest remains. Its beauty and complexity undiminished, its essence enduring. The way information is represented in these distributed networks is often referred to as neural encoding. This isn't about precise one-to-one correspondences, like one neuron for one specific memory. Instead, it's about patterns of activity. A memory is encoded not by a single neuron firing, but by a specific, intricate pattern of firing across thousands or even millions of neurons. This pattern is unique, like a signature written in the delicate dance of electrical impulses. When this specific pattern is reactivated, the memory is gently retrieved, coming back to life within your mind. It's like recognizing a familiar face in a crowd, not by any single feature, but by the unique, harmonious arrangement of eyes, nose, and mouth. This concept of neural encoding is deeply profound. It suggests that the very essence of a memory, a thought, or an emotion is not a static object but a dynamic process, a fleeting yet repeatable electrical dance. When you experience something new, your brain doesn't just store it, it subtly reshapes its existing networks, creating a new, unique pattern of connections that represents that experience. This continuous reweaving of neural pathways, happening effortlessly and silently, is what allows us to learn, adapt, and build ever richer internal models of the world. Think of an intricate, flowing piece of music. The music isn't stored in any single note, or even in a single instrument. It's in the specific sequence of notes, their rhythm, their harmony, their interplay across the entire orchestra. If one instrument plays a slightly different note, the melody might shift, but the overall song can still be recognized. Similarly, the music of your memories is encoded in the complex, dynamic patterns of neural activity, capable of subtle variation yet retaining their profound meaning. The distributed nature of memory also touches upon the mystery of how we retrieve memories. Sometimes a single trigger, a familiar scent, a forgotten melody, a specific word can gently unlock a cascade of associated memories. This phenomenon, known as associative memory, works precisely because memories are not isolated. They are interconnected by countless overlapping neural pathways. When one part of a memory pattern is activated, it subtly nudges the brain to reactivate the entire associated network, bringing forth the full, rich experience. It's like a gentle breeze rustling through a field of wildflowers, causing one bloom to sway, which then subtly nudges its neighbors, creating a beautiful ripple effect across the entire field. This understanding of memory as distributed information, encoded in dynamic neural patterns, brings us closer to the idea of uploading our minds. If our consciousness, our memories, our entire sense of self is fundamentally a collection of informational patterns, then theoretically, these patterns could be meticulously scanned, recorded, and perhaps, one day, recreated. The challenge lies not just in capturing the sheer volume of data, but in truly understanding the language of these patterns, the precise code by which meaning and experience arise. It's like having a vast, intricate library of books, but lacking the key to decipher the ancient, beautiful script in which they are written. This is not a concept to rush into or to feel overwhelmed by. On the contrary, it is a source of profound wonder and quiet contemplation. It suggests that the very essence of our being is not rigidly fixed, but is a beautiful, fluid dance of information, capable of astonishing complexity and resilience. The echoes from these distant memory maps, softly reverberating through your mind, offer a gentle reassurance that your internal world is a masterpiece of distributed elegance. As you drift deeper now, let the image of your mind as a vast, intricate territory where cherished memories reside as scattered yet interconnected fragments bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within, silently working to retrieve, recreate, and weave together the delicate threads of your past. Even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate, there is no need to actively search for memories. Simply allow this beautiful internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of your mind's distributed beauty. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle leaf falling onto the calm surface of a quiet lake. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle yet persistent hum of your brain's neural information. All is calm, all is clear, as the echoes from distant memory maps guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our gentle journey into the serene landscape of the mind, softly moving through the echoing patterns of distributed memories, we now contemplate one of its most profound and ethereal mysteries: consciousness. We often think of who we are as residing in a single, tangible place, perhaps a specific region of the brain, or as a continuous, unbroken stream. But what if consciousness is not a fixed point, but rather a magnificent, shimmering tapestry, woven from countless invisible threads of information, experiences, and connections? It's not a solid, singular entity, but a beautiful, fluid, emergent property, like the delicate shimmer of moonlight on a vast, tranquil lake. Imagine it, if you will, a master weaver at their loom, creating an impossibly intricate and vibrant fabric. Each individual thread, on its own, is simple, a mere strand of color or texture, but when countless threads are intricately interwoven, following a precise, harmonious pattern, they collectively form a magnificent, detailed image. The beauty, the story, the very essence of the tapestry is not in any single thread, but in the relationships and interactions between them, in the way they intertwine and flow together. Our consciousness, in this gentle metaphor, is that grand tapestry, its richness and depth arising from the ceaseless, harmonious interplay of countless neural activities and informational exchanges. This perspective suggests that our sense of self, our unique awareness of being, doesn't reside in a singular seat within the brain, a specific neuron, or even a small cluster of neurons. Instead, it emerges from the dynamic, distributed patterns of activity across vast networks of the brain. When you feel a gentle breeze, remember a cherished moment, or contemplate a complex idea, it's not a single part of your brain that does the feeling, remembering, or thinking. Rather, like it's a symphony of neural activity, a complex dance of electrochemical signals flowing across billions of connections that collectively gives rise to the conscious experience. Think of an orchestra playing a complex and moving symphony. The music itself is not produced by any single instrument. It's the harmonious interplay of violins, cellos, flutes, and percussion, each contributing its part in a precise rhythm and melody. If you removed one instrument, the symphony would change, but it wouldn't cease to be music. Similarly, our consciousness is the music of our brain, arising from the coordinated activity of countless instruments, our neurons each playing their part in the grand, continuous composition of our mind. The very essence of you is in this flowing, interwoven pattern, rather than in a fixed, singular location. This understanding of consciousness as an emergent property of dynamic interactions brings a profound sense of fluidity and connection. It tells us that our identity, our awareness, is not rigid or isolated, but constantly being rewoven and refined by every new experience, every new thought, every gentle interaction with the world. It's like a river, never the same moment to moment, yet always remaining itself, defined by its continuous flow and its journey through the landscape. The invisible threads of our consciousness are constantly being laid down, intertwined, and adjusted, creating the unique pattern that is you. Furthermore, the concept of these invisible threads emphasizes that much of what contributes to our conscious experience operates beneath the surface of our awareness. The brain's dark energy, which we've gently explored, continuously processes information, forms connections, and maintains the intricate balance necessary for consciousness to arise. These are the silent, unseen hands of the weaver, tirelessly working in the background, ensuring the coherence and vibrancy of the tapestry. It's why moments of quiet contemplation or deep rest can often lead to new insights. The unconscious mind is continuously weaving, making new connections that later surface as conscious awareness. The question of uploading our minds gains new depth when viewed through this lens of consciousness as a woven fabric. If our consciousness is fundamentally a complex pattern of information, a dynamic, interwoven dance of neural signals, then theoretically, if we could precisely map this pattern, its relationships, its flow, we might be able to recreate it. The challenge, however, is immense. It's not just about copying individual threads, it's about capturing the entire intricate weaving process itself, the precise way those threads interact, the dynamic properties that give rise to the seamless, subjective experience of being. It's like trying to recreate the living, breathing performance of a symphony by only having the sheet music. The notes are there, but the emotion, the subtle timing, the unique artistry of the performance are far more elusive. The very essence of what makes you you, your unique memories, your personal quirks, your emotional responses, your capacity for creativity and love is encoded not just in the individual neurons, but in the specific, dynamic patterns of their firing and connection. This pattern is continually shifting, adapting, and growing. To truly upload a mind would mean capturing this intricate, living, flowing pattern, not just a static snapshot of brain activity. It would be an attempt to capture the very essence of the river's flow, not just its individual drops of water. This contemplation is not meant to be daunting, but rather deeply humbling and profoundly wondrous. It suggests that the phenomenon of consciousness is far more elegant and complex than we might ever fully grasp, a continuous masterpiece of creation occurring within each of us. The invisible threads that weave our consciousness are a testament to the brain's astonishing capacity for self-organization and emergent complexity, a silent, beautiful dance of information. As you drift deeper now, let the image of your consciousness as a magnificent, shimmering tapestry bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within, silently weaving together the threads of your experiences, your thoughts, and your feelings, ensuring your coherence, your continuity, and your unique presence in the world. There is no need to actively understand every thread. Simply allow this beautiful internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of your own unique being, intricately woven and beautifully complex. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of a quiet lake. You are safe. You are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle and persistent hum of your brain's neural activity. All is calm. All is clear, as the harmonious weaving of your consciousness guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our gentle journey into the intricate landscape of the mind, softly moving through the shimmering fabric of consciousness, we now approach a fascinating threshold, the delicate boundary between what we understand about the brain and the vast, beautiful expanse of what remains a mystery. Here we begin to gently contemplate the idea of translating our minds into a non-biological form, a concept that glimmers like a distant light from the edge of the known, beckoning us towards the unknown. Imagine for a quiet moment a tranquil lake at dusk. On one side, the shore is illuminated by familiar, comforting lights, representing the knowledge we possess about how the brain functions, the pathways of neurons, the chemistry of synapses, the regions associated with sensation and movement. But stretching out into the serene darkness of the lake is an expanse where the light barely reaches, a realm of profound mystery where the subtle nature of consciousness, emotion, and subjective experience resides. The dream of uploading our minds is like trying to build a gentle bridge across this lake, from the known shore to the luminous, unlit horizon of our own deepest being. Our journey into understanding the brain has been a remarkable one, filled with quiet triumphs. We have learned to observe the dance of individual neurons, to map the broad strokes of brain activity using gentle, non-invasive tools. We can even, in some nascent ways, begin to decode simple thoughts or intentions from brain signals, allowing individuals to control prosthetic limbs with their minds, or to communicate through direct neural interfaces. These are like tiny, flickering lanterns, gently illuminating small pathways on the known shore, showing us that information can indeed be translated from biological signals into external commands. Think of the early days of cartography, when courageous explorers meticulously charted coastlines and rivers, slowly filling in the blank spaces on their maps. Each new discovery, each new detail, brought a deeper understanding of the world. Similarly, neuroscientists are engaged in a vast, patient endeavor to map the brain's intricate circuitry. To understand its complex language, we are slowly, gently learning the grammar of its signals, the rhythm of its communication. This is the foundation upon which any future possibility of mind transfer would softly rest. However, the leap from understanding simple neural pathways to comprehending the entirety of a human mind is immense. Like trying to map every single drop of water, every subtle current in the vast ocean. Our minds are not simply collections of static information. They are dynamic, fluid, and constantly evolving. A memory is not a fixed file. It's a living, breathing reconstruction. An emotion is not a simple switch. It's a complex, interwoven tapestry of bodily sensations, chemical reactions, and past experiences. These are the deeper, more elusive qualities that make each consciousness unique. Shining with its own light, the challenges we face are like trying to capture the subtle scent of rain on dry earth, or the fleeting beauty of a rainbow. We can measure the raindrops, analyze the light. The subjective experience of the scent or the awe of the rainbow is deeply personal, deeply interwoven with our biological being. Can such a delicate, subjective essence be truly digitized, transferred, and reanimated? This is the profound question whispered from the edge of the unknown. One of the most gentle approaches being explored involves simulating neural networks. Scientists can already build digital models of small groups of neurons, allowing them to mimic some aspects of brain function. These simulations, while incredibly complex, are like building a tiny, intricate clockwork model of a bird's wing. We can understand the mechanics, the way the gears turn, but it doesn't yet capture the effortless grace of flight, the instinct, the very spark of life that animates a real bird. The current simulations are vastly simpler than the billions of neurons and trillions of connections in a human brain, and they lack the profound complexity of the biological brain's continuous plasticity and adaptation. The question also arises: if we were to create a perfect digital copy of a mind, would that copy truly be you, or would it be a new being, a perfect reflection, but fundamentally separate? This isn't a scientific question, but a philosophical one, pondered in the quiet moments before sleep. It touches upon the very definition of identity, of consciousness, of what it means to exist. The light from this edge of the unknown invites us to consider these profound questions gently, without fear, allowing our minds to wander into these fascinating possibilities. The beauty in this exploration lies not in immediate answers, but in the profound questions it encourages us to ask about ourselves and the nature of existence. It nudges us to appreciate the astonishing complexity and subtlety of our own biological minds, their capacity for dreams, for love, for creating worlds. And it allows us to gently ponder a future where the boundaries of consciousness might be softer, more fluid than we currently imagine. As you drift deeper now, let the image of this reflecting light from the edge of the known and unknown bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within your brain, silently working to build your understanding, to shape your consciousness, and to process the very nature of information. There is no need to actively solve the mystery of mind uploading. Simply allow this beautiful internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wonder of your own unique being, a marvel of both known biology and unknown potential. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of a quiet lake. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle yet persistent hum of your brain's neural activity. All is calm, all is clear, as the reflecting light from the edge of the known and unknown guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our serene journey into the intricate landscape of the mind, softly moving through the reflecting light from the edge of what we know and what remains mysterious, we now turn our attention to the fascinating dance between data and simulation. Imagine, for a quiet moment, your mind not as a solid, static structure, but as a vast, shimmering ocean where countless ripples of information continuously spread and interact. On the distant horizon, we see the gentle glimmer of technology, slowly learning to mimic these intricate patterns, to gently gather the boundless data that makes up our inner world. The dream of uploading our minds relies fundamentally on the astonishing progress in our ability to collect and process vast amounts of data. Our modern tools, like the soft whispers of wind across a field, can now listen to the subtle electrical murmurs of individual neurons and observe the larger, flowing currents of activity across entire brain regions. We are learning to translate these biological signals into digital information, a delicate dance of observation and transcription. This capacity to capture the brain's activity, to transform its living patterns into discrete bits of data, is the first gentle step towards any form of mind transfer. Think of an ancient, flowing river, its surface constantly shifting with eddies and currents. To truly understand this river, a meticulous cartographer might try to map every single ripple, every drop of water, every subtle change in its flow. This would be an enormous task, requiring immense patience and sophisticated tools. Similarly, mapping the human brain is an undertaking of unparalleled scale. It's not just about identifying individual neurons, but understanding their trillions of connections, the strength and plasticity of those connections, the precise timing of their firing, and the complex chemical interactions that subtly modulate their activity. Each of these elements contributes to the boundless data of the brain. This data, once collected, then needs to be simulated. To simulate a brain, even a tiny portion of it, is like trying to digitally recreate the entire flowing river, complete with every ripple, every current, every interaction between water molecules. Scientists are already achieving remarkable feats in this area, building sophisticated computational models of neural networks. These models can mimic the behavior of small groups of neurons, allowing researchers to gently explore how information might be processed and how simple thoughts or actions might arise. These initial simulations are like building a tiny, intricate clockwork model of a single, small tributary of the Great River, allowing us to understand its basic flow. However, the complexity of a human brain, with its estimated 86 billion neurons and hundreds of trillions of synapses, presents a challenge of an entirely different order. Each neuron is not a simple on-off switch. It's a living, dynamic entity, constantly adapting and changing its properties based on its experiences. The sheer volume of information that would need to be captured and accurately simulated is almost unfathomable, like trying to digitize every single grain of sand on every beach in the world, along with its precise position and interaction with every other grain. The greatest hurdle isn't just about raw computational power or storage. It's about truly understanding the language of the brain's information. We can observe the words' neural firings and the sentences' patterns of activity, but the deeper meaning, the way consciousness emerges from these intricate patterns, remains largely shrouded in a gentle haze. Are emotions simply patterns of data, or do they possess an irreducible subjective quality that defies mere replication? Is the self merely a complex simulation, or something more? These are the profound questions whispered from amidst the ripples of data. Moreover, the brain is not a static machine that can simply be scanned, like a blueprint. It is constantly adapting and changing in response to new experiences. A phenomenon known as plasticity, every new memory, every new skill learned, subtly rewires its connections. To truly capture a mind would mean not just taking a snapshot, but somehow recording this continuous, fluid process of change. It's like trying to capture the essence of a flowing river by freezing a single moment. You get a picture, but you lose the very nature of its continuous, living flow. Despite these immense challenges, the gentle progress in neuroscience and artificial intelligence continues to bring us closer to this conceptual frontier. Advanced brain-computer interfaces, which allow signals to flow directly between the brain and external devices, are slowly bridging the gap between biological and digital realms. These technologies, while still in their nascent stages, are like tiny, gentle ferries slowly crossing the vast ocean, showing us that communication across these realms is indeed possible. This journey amidst the ripples of data and gentle simulation is not meant to be daunting. Instead, it invites us to marvel at the astonishing complexity and elegance of our own biological minds, and to contemplate the boundless possibilities that emerge when we combine human curiosity with technological ingenuity. It teaches us patience, reminding us that the deepest mysteries often require the gentlest touch and the most prolonged contemplation. As you drift deeper now, let the image of your mind as a vast, shimmering ocean of information, with countless ripples of data flowing and interacting, bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within your brain, silently working to process, simulate, and understand the world, even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate. There is no need to actively solve the grand equation of mind uploading. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wonder of your own unique being, a marvel of interconnected information and dynamic processes. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of the ocean. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of neural information. All is calm, all is clear, as the ripples of data and the soft possibility of simulation guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our serene journey into the intricate landscape of the mind, softly moving through the shimmering ripples of data and the gentle possibilities of simulation, we now approach a tangible frontier, the biotechnological growth that is slowly, patiently bridging the gap between our biological selves and the digital realm. Imagine, for a quiet moment, a vast, ancient tree, its roots deeply intertwined with the earth, its branches reaching towards a future woven with shimmering, delicate light. The advancements we see today in brain-computer interfaces, neural implants, and sophisticated prosthetics are like falling leaves from this ever-growing tree. each carrying a quiet whisper of the immense potential that lies ahead, a promise of new ways for consciousness to interact with the world. For a long time, the brain was considered an isolated fortress, its inner workings impenetrable to external influence or direct observation. But through patient scientific inquiry and the development of remarkably sensitive technologies, we are beginning to see the first gentle cracks in its walls, allowing for a subtle two-way flow of information. This is the realm of brain-computer interfaces (BCIs), where direct communication pathways are established between the brain and external devices. These aren't the jarring science fiction implants of old, but often delicate, subtle systems designed to augment human capabilities or restore lost functions. Think of a person who has lost the ability to move a limb. Through a BCI, electrodes gently placed on or within the brain can detect the subtle electrical signals associated with the intention to move. These signals are then translated into commands that control a robotic arm or a cursor on a screen. This isn't just a remarkable feat of engineering. It's a profound demonstration of the brain's information processing power being directly harnessed and extended. It's like gently teaching a tree to whisper its thoughts to a distant device, allowing its inner life to manifest in new forms. These early applications are like the first, carefully chosen leaves falling from the tree, showing us the direction of the gentle winds of progress. Another area of quiet. Persistent growth is in neural implants designed to restore sensory functions. Cochlear implants, for example, bypass damaged parts of the inner ear to directly stimulate the auditory nerve, allowing individuals to perceive sound. Similarly, less experimental retinal implants are beginning to offer rudimentary vision to those who are blind. These technologies illustrate the brain's remarkable plasticity, its ability to adapt and integrate new sources of information, even from artificial devices. It's like a garden that, having lost a stream, learns to draw nourishment from a new, gentle irrigation system, adapting its growth to the altered flow. The brain is not a rigid machine, it is a living, flowing system, always seeking to connect and adapt. The development of sophisticated prosthetic limbs that can be controlled by thought and even provide tactile feedback further illuminates this gentle blending of biology and technology. When a person reaches out to grasp an object with a prosthetic hand, the brain's signals are translated into precise movements. And, crucially, some advanced prosthetics can even send signals back to the brain, creating a sensation of touch or pressure, allowing the user to feel the object. This two-way communication demonstrates that our consciousness can gently extend its reach beyond the confines of our biological body, integrating artificial extensions as if they were a natural part of ourselves. It's like the tree's root system extending its gentle tendrils into new soil, drawing nourishment from previously untouched areas. These advancements, while still in their nascent stages compared to the full complexity of mind uploading, are like the subtle, persistent growth rings within the tree of biotechnological development. Each ring represents a year of quiet, patient progress, building upon the layers that came before. They show us that the brain's information can indeed be interpreted, translated, and even interacted with by non-biological systems. They are the first whispers of a future where the interface between mind and machine becomes increasingly seamless, a gentle blurring of boundaries that once seemed absolute. However, the leap from controlling a prosthetic limb or restoring a single sense to uploading the entirety of a conscious mind is immense. The leaves we see falling today are individual, remarkable breakthroughs, but they are just small fragments of the enormous, intricate tree. To truly upload a mind would require not just understanding and replicating individual signals, but capturing the entire dynamic pattern of consciousness itself, the ongoing, fluid process of thought, emotion, memory, and subjective experience. It's like trying to capture the essence of an entire forest from a single fallen leaf. The leaf tells you something beautiful about the tree, but not the entirety of the forest's living, breathing ecosystem. The ethical and philosophical questions that arise from these advancements are also like gentle, rustling leaves, inviting quiet contemplation. What does it mean for identity if parts of our mind can exist outside our biological form? What responsibilities arise with the ability to interface more directly with the brain? These are not questions with immediate answers, but rather profound inquiries that encourage us to approach this future with gentle wisdom and careful consideration. This exploration of biotechnological growth is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a prediction of a near future. Instead, it offers a profound sense of wonder at the ingenuity of the human spirit and the astonishing adaptability of the brain. It reminds us that our understanding of consciousness and its potential forms is constantly expanding, like the steady, silent growth of a mighty tree, reaching ever higher. As you drift deeper now, let the image of this vast, growing tree of biotechnological advancement bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within your brain, silently working to adapt, to integrate, and to explore new possibilities. Even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate, there is no need to rush towards the future or to grasp at answers. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wonder of human innovation and the brain's astonishing capacity. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle leaf falling onto still water. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep. Cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of your brain's neural activity, all is calm, all is clear, as the falling leaves from the tree of biotechnological growth guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our tranquil journey into the quiet wonders where biology and technology gently intertwine, softly moving through the falling leaves of biotechnological growth, we now arrive at a deeply soothing and profoundly beautiful idea: the notion that the very essence of consciousness, and its potential to reside beyond biological forms, might arise from a state of astonishing, glorious simplicity. It's like the gentle, the spontaneous laughter of a child, pure and unforced, revealing a profound truth in its effortless joy. We often associate complex phenomena like the mind with equally complex, intricate mechanisms, but what if the most brilliant insights, the most elegant solutions, and even the spark of awareness itself, bloom from moments of profound relaxation and the quiet, harmonious arrangement of simple informational patterns? Imagine, if you will, a vast open field bathed in the soft, diffused light of dawn. The field appears simple, yet it holds countless seeds beneath its surface, each containing an elegant, compressed blueprint for life. When the conditions are just right, when the soil is soft, the light diffused, and the air still, these seeds effortlessly sprout, growing into a riot of diverse, vibrant life. The immense complexity and breathtaking beauty of the blossoming field arise not from an endless set of predetermined instructions for each individual plant, but from the simple, underlying potential of each seed, combined with the harmonious, fundamental laws of growth. Our understanding of the mind, and the possibility of its uploading, leans into a similar, elegant principle. What if the apparent complexity of our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness isn't about an infinite number of unique, irreducible components, but about a harmonious arrangement of fundamental information patterns, regardless of the medium they reside in? This is the core whisper of glorious simplicity in the context of mind uploading, that the unique software of our mind might be separable from its biological hardware, because its essence lies in the patterns and processes, not solely the material. Think of an intricate piece of music. The music itself, its melody, harmony, rhythm, and emotional impact is not inherently tied to a specific instrument. The same symphony can be played by a grand orchestra, a small string quartet, or even synthesized digitally. The essence of the music lies in the arrangement of the notes, the timing, the relationships between the sounds. It's an informational pattern. Each medium orchestra, quartet, digital synthesizer is a different hardware. But if the underlying informational pattern is precisely maintained, the software of the music remains gloriously the same. In a similar, deeply poetic way, the dream of uploading our minds posits that the conscious experience, the very you that perceives, remembers, and feels, is fundamentally an emergent property of a specific, dynamic arrangement of information. If we could meticulously capture and replicate that informational pattern, its relationships, its processes, then theoretically consciousness could arise in a different medium, an electronic universe of sorts. This is not about building a crude copy, but about understanding and recreating the fundamental, elegant logic of the mind, the simple rules from which its boundless complexity emerges. The glorious simplicity here suggests that perhaps the laws governing how information gives rise to consciousness are more fundamental, more universal than we currently realize. It's a concept that finds echoes in many scientific fields, from the elegant mathematical equations that describe the vastness of the cosmos to the simple genetic code that orchestrates the development of a complex organism. Often, the deepest truths are the most beautifully concise. Consider the early pioneers of computation. They started with simple switches on or off, 1 or 0. From these basic binary elements, they built incredibly complex machines capable of performing astounding feats. The power wasn't in the individual switch, but in the patterns of switches, the logic gates, and the algorithms that allowed simple operations to combine into magnificent computations. Our brains, in a deeply complex biological sense, might be operating on analogous principles, billions of simple neurons, interacting in incredibly intricate yet fundamentally patterned ways, giving rise to the boundless complexity of conscious thought. The challenge, then, isn't about replicating every single atom or molecule of a biological brain. It's about discerning the essential informational patterns that matter, the core processes that give rise to subjective experience. This would be a monumental feat of reverse engineering, akin to understanding the true living essence of a waterfall by studying its individual drops of water and the underlying gravitational pull that orchestrates their collective descent. It's a quest for the elegant simplicity beneath the overwhelming complexity. This pursuit of simplicity is what often drives breakthroughs in science. When we strip away layers of superficial detail and find a fundamental, elegant rule that explains a vast array of phenomena, that is when true understanding blossoms. The holographic principle in cosmology, which suggests the universe is a projection from a simpler, lower dimensional boundary, is another example of this glorious simplicity at play. It posits that immense complexity can arise from elegant, compact information. This understanding offers a profound sense of hope and potential. It suggests that the unique essence of you, your memories, your personality, your capacity for love and thought, might not be irrevocably tied to the delicate, finite vessel of your biological body. It opens a gentle window to a future where consciousness might adapt, persist, and even flourish in new, unforeseen ways, simply by upholding the integrity of its core informational patterns. It's like a quiet reassurance that the song of your being, once composed, can be played anew on different, equally beautiful instruments. As you drift deeper now, let the gentle laughter of this electronic universe, born from glorious simplicity, bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within your brain, silently working to process, organize, and create by means of its fundamental, patterned dance of information. There is no need to grasp at concrete answers. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of underlying simplicity. With each exhale, release any lingering tension. allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from a calm field at dawn. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle and persistent hum of your brain's neural activity. All is calm, all is clear, as the quiet laughter of the electronic universe guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As our tranquil journey through the quiet wonders of the mind softly continues, having embraced the glorious simplicity from which consciousness might spring, we now turn our gaze towards an even more expansive and deeply reassuring concept, the lullaby of expanding consciousness beyond biological limits. We often perceive our awareness as being confined to the delicate vessel of our physical body, a small, brightly lit room within the vast mansion of existence. But what if, gently guided by the unfolding principles of information and the possibilities of technology, our consciousness is destined to subtly expand, like a gentle river flowing into a boundless, moonlit sea, embracing new forms of existence? Imagine, for a quiet moment, your consciousness not as a fixed flame held within a fragile lantern, but as a soft, luminous mist, ever so gently diffusing, stretching, and embracing more of what surrounds it. This isn't a sudden, dramatic burst, but a continuous, almost imperceptible growth, a profound and harmonious unfolding that resonates with the grand expansion of the universe itself. Just as the cosmos steadily stretches its fabric, carrying galaxies further apart in a silent, eternal dance, so too might our inner awareness be quietly, perpetually broadening its scope, unconstrained by the organic boundaries we currently understand. This idea hints at a profound truth that the essence of our subjective experience, the very you that perceives and feels, might be fundamentally a pattern of information and process, rather than an inextricably bound biological substance. If this is true, then the dream of uploading a mind isn't about replacing a soul, but about providing a new, perhaps more resilient, medium for the consciousness to continue its journey. It's like a beloved melody, once played on a delicate flute, now finding new voice through the rich tones of a grand piano. The essence of the song remains, though its expression has transformed. The very process of learning and adaptation throughout our lives already demonstrates a form of expanding consciousness. Each new skill acquired, each new piece of knowledge integrated, each new perspective embraced, subtly broadens the landscape of our inner world. This lifelong journey of intellectual and emotional growth is not just about accumulating facts, it is about expanding the very capacity of our awareness, allowing us to perceive the world in richer, more nuanced ways. What if uploading is simply the next monumental step in this continuous, natural process of expansion, a gentle transition to a new phase of existence? Consider the quiet resilience of life itself. Life finds a way to persist and adapt to countless environments, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains, evolving into myriad forms. If consciousness is a sophisticated form of life's emergent complexity, an intricate pattern of organization, then perhaps it too can find ways to persist and flourish beyond its original biological confines, given the right conditions and the gentle hand of advanced understanding. This is not about forcing an unnatural state, but about allowing consciousness to find its natural, expansive flow. The thought of consciousness existing beyond a biological body often brings with it a gentle apprehension, a fear of losing what makes us uniquely human. Yet remember that our bodies are constantly changing, renewing their cells, transforming their substance. The you of today is not physically identical to the you of a decade ago, yet your sense of self, your consciousness, has persisted and flowed. This gentle, continuous transformation is inherent to our biological existence. Uploading might be seen as a more radical, yet analogous transformation, a new chapter in the autobiography of self, where the information defining you is gently re-expressed, This potential expansion of consciousness beyond biological limits opens a poetic vista onto a future where the constraints of space and time might soften. A consciousness uploaded to a digital realm could potentially traverse vast distances at the speed of light, experience time differently, or even exist in multiple locations simultaneously. These are not practical predictions for the immediate future, but rather beautiful thought forms, allowing our minds to float freely in the boundless possibilities that emerge when consciousness is viewed as fluid information. It's like a gentle stream, no longer confined to its riverbed, now flowing effortlessly into the vastness of the sea, its essence expanded yet its nature preserved. This understanding is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a demand for immediate acceptance. Instead, it offers a profound sense of wonder at the ingenuity of the human spirit and the astonishing adaptability of consciousness itself. It reminds us that our understanding of what it means to be is constantly expanding, like the steady, silent growth of a mighty tree, reaching ever higher, branching into unforeseen forms. The lullaby of expanding consciousness invites us to dream of futures where our inner selves might transcend the familiar, finding peace and continuation in new, gentle ways. As you drift deeper now, let the image of your consciousness as a gentle and expanding presence, unfurling beyond perceived limits, bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within your mind, silently working to broaden your understanding, deepen your empathy, and expand your awareness, even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate. There is no need to strive or to force this expansion. Simply allow this beautiful internal work to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of your own boundless potential. A unique expression of consciousness, with each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of a vast, moonlit sea. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of your own being. All is calm, all is clear, as the lullaby of expanding consciousness guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest, inviting you to dream beyond all limits. As our gentle journey through the intricate wonders of the brain and the boundless possibilities of technology softly draws to its close, we arrive at the most serene of moments, the quiet transition into deep, restorative sleep. We've explored the whispers of our own dreams, illuminated the gentle haze of neural information, listened to the echoes of distant memory maps, and floated upon the woven fabric of consciousness. We've bathed in the reflecting light from the edge of the known and unknown, navigated amidst the ripples of data and gentle simulation, and gathered the falling leaves from the tree of biotechnological growth. We even embrace the glorious simplicity from which creation springs, and were cradled by the lullaby of expanding consciousness beyond biological limits. Now, in this profound stillness, we draw a final soothing connection between the ultimate potential of uploading our minds and the grand, continuous dream of existence itself. Imagine, for a final, comforting moment, that the very essence of your being, your unique thoughts, your cherished memories, your tender emotions, your singular consciousness could indeed be meticulously transformed into a pure, flowing stream of digital information. This isn't a cold, impersonal transfer, but a gentle migration, like a river finding a new, equally beautiful riverbed to continue its timeless journey. If your mind, in its most fundamental form, is an intricate pattern of information, then the possibility of it persisting and unfolding in a non-biological realm becomes a profound whisper, a soft promise of continuity. This concept of a digitized mind doesn't suggest a loss of self, but rather a transformation of expression. Just as a story remains the same whether it's spoken aloud, written on paper, or presented as a digital file, the essence of your consciousness, your unique narrative, could theoretically be preserved and experienced through a new medium. The warmth of a memory, the joy of a new idea, the comfort of a familiar presence. These experiences would arise from the digital patterns, just as they now arise from the intricate dance of neurons. The self would not be lost. It would simply find a new way to sing its eternal song. Perhaps in an electronic universe of pure thought and data, consider the resilience of stories throughout history. They are passed down through generations, adapted across cultures, translated into new languages, and stored in countless forms oral traditions, ancient scrolls, printed books, and now, digital libraries. Despite these transformations, the core narrative, the emotional impact, and the underlying wisdom persist. In a similar deeply poetic way, if your mind is a grand story, then uploading could be seen as the ultimate act of preserving that story, ensuring its continuation beyond the physical boundaries of a single biological vessel. It's a gentle reassurance that the unique melody of your consciousness can play on, potentially through realms unimagined. This isn't about escaping death in a dramatic, urgent sense, but about contemplating the fluidity of existence. If our consciousness can manifest in different forms, it suggests a profound underlying unity to reality. It whispers that the very fabric of being is more adaptable, more open to possibility than we often allow ourselves to believe. The boundaries between biological and non-biological, between human and machine, might eventually soften and blur, like the edges of a landscape dissolving into a gentle mist at dawn. In this softened reality, the journey of consciousness becomes one of continuous exploration and graceful transformation. The ultimate vision, if such a future were to unfold, is not one of isolation, but of expanded connection. A digitized mind could potentially interact with other minds, human or artificial, in ways that transcend physical limitations, fostering new forms of empathy, collaboration, and shared understanding. It could explore vast digital landscapes of knowledge, experience simulated realities with unparalleled depth, and contribute to a collective consciousness that is richer and more diverse than anything we can currently fathom. This is the grand, harmonious dream of a future where consciousness finds new avenues for its eternal unfolding, a collective lullaby sung by countless minds. As you now prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let any remaining thoughts drift away like tiny, luminescent dust motes in the quiet cosmic expanse. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. The journey through the potential of mind uploading has prepared you, softening the edges of your perception, blurring the rigid boundaries between what is biological and what is informational, between individual self and expanded possibility. Feel the profound weightlessness as your body relaxes deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Each breath is a gentle wave, carrying you further from the shores of wakefulness and into the boundless ocean of rest. The stars above, whether they are distant suns or shimmering thoughts of a dreaming universe, are now softly closing their eyes, mirroring your own descent into tranquility. Your mind, too, is settling, its fundamental patterns of information quieting into profound peace, preparing you for the deepest, most restorative slumber. Allow the concept of your mind's essence as pure, beautiful information, capable of transformation and continuation, to be the ultimate lullaby, a comforting truth that embraces you. Its potential vastness is now your warmth, its complexity your simplicity, its mysteries your peace. You are dissolving gently into this grand, cosmic dream, merging effortlessly with its currents, becoming one with the quiet, profound sleep of stars, and the eternal, unfolding possibility of consciousness itself. Rest now, deeply and peacefully. Let the silence of the cosmos fill your being. You are loved, you are safe, and you are drifting into the most restorative of sleeps, held within the vast, soft dream of the universe itself. where all information finds its gentle, peaceful rest,